Hi everyone and welcome back to Domenika. Today I'm going to celebrate Women's Day, so I thought I was going to do a look inspired by women's rights and also kind of a celebrating look, and it's a bit of a spring look also. I'm very passionate about a lot of political issues when it comes to women's rights, so let's get started. I start with a red lipliner, winging out that eyeliner. Domenika. So for base today I want to have a very natural light base. I don't really like to wear too much base when we go into spring, so this is kind of what I usually wear in spring and summer. So I'm going to start with a bit of primer. I'm going to wear Wonder Glow by Tilbury. I've used this a lot. It's quite natural sheen. It's a bit lighter, I think, in consistency to the Hollywood Flawless filter that she also is known for. I'm focusing this mostly onto my cheekbones. So that's fresh and very kind of natural. It's a bit of a confident boost because it makes the skin look less dull. After that I'm going to go into concealer. I'm not going to wear foundation today. Oh my. This is impossible to open when your hands are a bit slippery from the primer. Finally. But I'm going to wear this kind of like a foundation. Applying it underneath my eyes. And today I'm wearing kind of the suffragette colors because I thought that would fit in with the theme. I'm wearing a white dress because that was the color they used to wear and kind of used to symbolize suffragettes and the suffragette movement. I read somewhere that they ended up with white because that was affordable and a lot of people could find it. And also I'm wearing this jacket which is purple, which is also one of their colors, and a necklace which is green. This is a jade necklace because that was also one of the colors they like to wear. They used to wear white dresses with green and purple accents. They have this ribbon across here with the color white, purple and green. The right to vote for everyone, even if you're not male, is important, I think. And I don't really think you can call yourself a democracy if not everyone can vote. I'm going to buff that in with the Hollywood complexion brush, also by Tilbury. And I'm wearing this almost as a foundation. As you can see, I applied it a lot all over, but I'm kind of focusing around here and there where I get red. I'm not applying too much on my cheek because I want to have a little bit of a flush. And I do get red hair, but it's not kind of annoying red. But I don't want to get red hair. And also applying a bit onto my nose and underneath the eyes. And sometimes I feel like wearing concealer as foundation kind of looks sometimes even better than foundation. I don't know why, but it's beautiful. And I think we have a lot to do when it comes to kind of women's rights still. In many aspects when it comes to women's health, kind of how the different diseases affects female body versus the male body isn't researched as much, and also female diseases like endometriosis, pelvic pain, which also men can get, prolapse. I don't think it's done as much as it should be for those kind of issues. And also I think it's wrong when someone gives birth and they 20 years later still hasn't gotten the help they should with their prolapse and they still have a prolapse. And I think that's wrong. People shouldn't go struggling with things for that long. And also when it comes to kind of endometriosis. That is something that a lot of women are struggling with and should be more knowledge about. And also, when we look around the world, I think like a lot of places, kind of being born female can kind of come with a lot of disadvantages and high risk to get married off very young. Not having an education, not getting an education, which I think everyone should at least have the possibility to get an education and go to school. So I just blended a light layer all over. Next I'm going to go onto eyes. I'm going to go into an old eyeshadow that I have had for a while. This is by Chanel and it's Ombre Matelassées de Chanel in Charming. I'm not sure if this is still available, I don't think so, but you kind of find these neutral type of colors, and I'm sure you have some neutrals in your collections. There are a lot of kind of neutral palettes being released on the market, and in general I think it's perhaps more neutral eyeshadow palettes at the moment than kind of colorful palettes, so you should easily find these shades. This is actually quite old. I should probably not wear these kind of as old as this eyeshadow because I think kind of went over date, but they don't smell, and I do clean my eyeshadow from time to time, and sometimes I scrape off the top of it, so I don't really think they are contagious anyway. I'm going to start with a kind of base color. It's kind of a beigey color. Here you can use kind of any color that matches your skin tone. That's kind of to even out your eyelid. I haven't bought my eyeshadow primer either, but I think it's going to be fine. I'm just going to apply this all over the eye, up into my brow. Just apply that all over. Perhaps I should scoop you a bit closer so you can see a bit better. So I just apply this all over up to the brow. And then I'm going to go into the taupey color, matte taupe. I'm going to mix a bit of that shimmering kind of copper shade. And this I'm going to apply into the crease. More transition shade. Going back into the beige to kind of blend that at the top. Kind of went a bit too far down. Clean that up. That's one of the reasons that I usually do the concealer after I done the eyes. Blending that outer corner a bit. Then I'm going to take my smudge brush, and I'm using the brush kit from Tilbury. This is practical because it has all the brushes that I need except the foundation brush. I'm going to use the same mixture, go underneath the eye. Kind of dragging it from the outside corner and in. Going to go into a bit of eyeliner. I'm going to using angled brush. This is kind of old brush, I don't really know where I got it. And I'm going to go into the brown shade. So I'm going to dip into the brown today. Kind of knock off the brush and just push it into the lashes. Just kind of thickening up the lash line. And of course you can use a black eyeshadow if you prefer. I found it a bit easier and I kind of keep my eye open. I think this kind of eyeliner technique is what Van Gogh refers to as push liner. You can see this eye has a lot more definition than this eye. I'm going to even my eyes out. And also doing your eyeliner with a brush is also a good idea if you want kind of more of a softer line. I think that eyeshadow for eyeliner is kind of a lot more softer. And if you're perhaps a bit older and you feel like you don't want to have too much of a strong eyeliner, try to use eyeshadow. I'm applying it across the entire eye and down to the inner corner. Just going to go back in my blender brush with a bit of the brown shade and kind of make sure everything is blended. It's kind of a great everyday look, but I'm thinking I'm perhaps going to do a wing. I'm going to go back into the same shade and kind of follow my kind of lash line up. Do a soft wing. Always love to have a bit of a wing on my eyes. If you've done a great wing, you can just fly away. That's even, but I'm going to add a bit more of that, so I'm going to go into the darkest kind of, I think this is more kind of a purpley grey. I can swatch a bit for you, didn't really show up. And the color that I have been using is this. So this is what I'm going to have been using, and I'm going to darken it a bit with this one. Just going to darken a bit onto the outer corner that had a bit of fallout. Go into my smudge brush and kind of blend that. I think I just have to live with the fallout a bit for the moment, fix it more later. Just going to kind of tap off a bit more and kind of add just to the outer corner. So not the entire eyeliner, but just on the outer corner, adding this shade to make it a bit more intense. As you can see, I usually like to kind of darken only the outside corner. It's kind of an easy way to add a bit of depth. And this look kind of is very wearable for every day. You can only do the kind of line across and not the wing part if you want, or you can don't do eyeliner at all. It's kind of natural every day. So I think that's it for the eyes. Just going to curl my lashes. Just curled my eyelashes. For mascara today I'm going to use the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Kind of wiggling it into my roots. So just done the eyes and done the mascara. Just going to scoop a bit out and go on to the rest of the face. We'll just start with a bit of a blusher brush, kind of sweep away a bit of fallout. Now I'm going to go back into the concealer, kind of applying it underneath the eye. And a bit down the center. Just patting that in. I really like this kind of angle. It makes it easier to go underneath the eyes. So for lips, I'm going to go into, I thought about doing a red because traditionally red was used to kind of symbolize that you wanted to vote. It was a bit of part of the uniform. In so much that in France they used to wear red lipstick to symbolize that they wanted to vote, women to vote. And now we kind of associate French with red lipstick, and it actually started with wanting to vote and female rights, so that's cool. But I'm not going to go into a completely red today. I'm going to go for something a bit more of a modern red. And this is Tilbury Hot Lips in Miranda May. As you see, I've used a lot of this lipstick. It's not really red. You can see it's kind of a hot pink with a bit of redness in it. I think it's kind of a bit of a modern red. And what I like to do if I some days kind of want to wear a bit more red, I would use kind of a red lip liner. This is Cherry by MAC. But normally I use it with the Pink Venus. This is a lot lighter and a lot kind of more pink than the Miranda May. And this is in the Hot Lips collection, as I told you. And that's a collection that is been done in partnership with Women for Women. So they give a bit of the profit to Women for Women. And I thought that was kind of a fitting kind of organization. And also cause to do in a lipstick, and also to do as a bit of a lipstick for Women's Day. And this is my go-to lipstick for whenever it's warm outside and summer and spring. I wear this all the time. As you probably can tell, there's not much left. But I can swatch the two lip liners that I use with it, so you can kind of get the idea. So down here is the Pink Venus. As you can see, it's a bit pink. The Miranda May is even kind of more corally. But if you kind of go over with a lot more swipes, it becomes kind of more red. So today I'm going to mix those two lip liners together, kind of make it more red. I can swatch it on my lips also, so you can kind of get an idea of how the color look without anything. So here you can see how the lipstick looks without anything. It's kind of a bit coral. I usually think that it has a bit of redness, but I think it kind of shows off more corally in this light. It's very beautiful color. Whenever I wear this, it brings a smile to my face, and I really kind of feel like it's summer. So I'm going to apply the lip liners now on top. Starting with the red, kind of going small strokes into the lipstick. You see it's kind of starting to be a bit more red. Yeah, that happens. And kind of blend a bit of the bottom line a bit. Going to the inner corner also. I don't really like to emphasize the inner corner too much because I think it can make you look a bit sad, but I do like to kind of take the lip liner into the inner corner. Then I'm going to go over with Pink Venus, kind of to blend the two lip colors that I have on together. And as a final touch for the lips, I'm going to go over the lipstick with a bit more of the over the lip liner and lipstick with a bit more lipstick. This is a gorgeous shade. So that's it for my lips. Oh, I haven't done my brows. So I'm going to go into the Benefit Gimme Brow. And this is in the shade 3. Lift off my bangs a bit, applying it. I think that really did thicken up my brows a lot. For blusher, I want something that matches the lipstick, so I'm going to go into the Glowgasm in Peachgasm. And I've used quite a lot of this. Gives kind of a peachy golden sheen. And I know that this is kind of like a highlighter and a blusher in one, so I don't really need to use a blusher with this. I was actually going to say that I don't really need to use a highlighter with this because it's kind of like a highlightery blush. It kind of saves a bit of time and it's great for kind of one step. I don't think even the Peachgasm can work quite well with this lipstick. I'm going to add a bit of the lipstick into my blusher because I think it will match more that way. But this is very matching and looks very good with the eyeshadow. And this is my favorite blusher. And I like to go in sometimes with the blusher brush to kind of blend a bit. Not too much because I feel like if you blend too much with the blusher brush, this is going to kind of take away a bit of the sheen. And I do really like the shine that this gives. I'm going to just take it from my lipstick with my finger. And that's also create kind of a highlight on the lips. Add that to the mixture. And I think it's a great trick to kind of use your lipstick as a blusher because you don't really need to kind of be too scared of not matching your lipstick, because if you add a bit of your lipstick in or use your lipstick as the blusher, it's going to match anyway. I'm going to add a bit more of the cream blusher just on the high points, because I want more of the highlight effect of it. Just kind of patting it in. As you can see, that gives a lovely natural highlight. And that's it. That is the finished look. I don't think I'm going to do anything more. Just going to leave it at that. So have a wonderful Women's Day, or I hope you had a wonderful Women's Day. I'm not sure how fast I'm going to be with editing this, honestly. And shout out to Video Jules, who made this beautiful jade necklace. He's a friend of mine from when I was working a bit at Sugar Shop, and he makes very beautiful jewelry. And this is jade. This is actually not mine, it's my mother's, but I just borrowed it for this video to have the 3 Women's Day colors. So there you have it. Happy Women's Day, everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye! Or as we say in Norway, ha det bra!